Hi Forbes, hope you're doing well today. So in this Word Major project video, I will talk to you about what I learned in the 4 Word modules that we did since the beginning of the semester, and I will also show you the 3 documents that I created for my company MOB training linked to the Word modules. The first module that we did is module 8, which was all about creating a memo. In this module, I learned how to track changes and review tracked changes in my Word document, which I didn't know was possible to do before. I also learned how to compare and combine documents. Moreover, I was able to create and format a table, which then I was able to put this table's data into a chart by linking them with an Excel spreadsheet, by linking the data from both. I was also able to view and scroll through side-by-side documents, so I saw how that can be done. For MOB training, I created a memo, as you can see on the slide. So I formatted the memo professionally and I put the colors of my company in it so that my brand can be recognized in the memo. So as you can see, the memo is about last year's membership breakdown. So I did a little text to explain my employees what it is about. And then the table can show the data by season and by membership type. And after that, under the table, there is a chart that shows this data more visually so employees can understand it better. After working on this module, doing the in the lab, and creating a memo for my company, I must say that I would feel pretty confident if my employer came to me and asked me to create a memo for them. In addition, I learned how to do a reference document in Module 9. A reference document is a multi-page document in which different figures, images, and paragraphs can be easily located by its users. The main thing I learned to do using Word in this chapter include inserting cross-references, linking text boxes so that their text continues on the other page's text box, working with a master document and a subdocument, and insert and modify an index and a table of figures. So as you can see on the right of the slide, I created a reference document for my company MOB training. You can see the cover page on the top left. Beside it, there is the table of content that I created and that I was able to modify when I modified my document. After that, you have one of the main pages of my document. So with text, there is a picture, there is a caption under the picture. I also have the beginning of a text box, which is linked to the text box on the page after. So the text in both text boxes continues. And then beside you have the index that I formatted with the modern style, I believe so. And that I was also able to modify when I changed some information in my document. So this module was the hardest of the 4 in my opinion, because most of these things I had never done before, mainly the sub document and master document, and I had quite a few problems with them. However, I was able to sort it all out, and I can now do it again on my own if I need to. Furthermore, there were other things that I didn't see before, such as creating an index, putting captions under my pictures, and linking text boxes. But still, I'm very happy that I did this module because I have a lot more knowledge on Word than I did before. To continue, Module 10 showed me how to create an online form. In this chapter, I learned how to save a document as a template to begin with, After that, I learned how to use a table to enhance the layout of the form. So as you can see on the right of my slide, I used tables to make my format better. You can still see the grid lines of the tables, but these I can hide for when I will put my form on the internet for my clients. I also learned how to use the developer tab, which I didn't even know existed before. Moreover, I learned how to insert relevant content controls such as checkbox, plain text, and date picker content control, which are also in my survey for my company, MOB Training. I also learned how to change their properties, so I could change, as you can see, I changed the choice in the checkbox, for example, like opening hours instead of food selection, because my company is different than what we did in the lab and in the chapter. And also I learned how to restrict editing so that the clients, when they edit the form, they can only fill in the form and not remove what I wrote, for example, as the questions. Now I made the online form bigger for you that I would post on MOB Training's website. So on it, as you can see, I used my gym's colors mainly. I also did a pretty formatting, and I put a picture of someone training at the top. So members could fill this form on our website. They would only need to enter their name, as you can see, how often they train per week, so how often they would come to the gym, what they like best about our gym, that could tell us our best features, but also what we could work on in the future. Then how, like, if they would recommend our training centers to their acquaintances, and lastly, when they came to the gym for the last time. Furthermore, Module 11 taught me how to enhance an online form and use macros. So in this chapter, I learned mainly how to set macro settings and record and execute a macro. These things I didn't know were, I didn't know they existed in Word, so it was a great thing to learn them. After that, I learned how to convert table to text, which normally we do the inverse, like convert text to table, but it is useful to know it. I also learned how to create and modify a character style. Then I learned that it was possible to group objects. So in Module 11, we grouped two pictures together. And lastly, I learned how to work with a 3D effect, mainly for text box. So as you can see on the left, I modified a little bit my survey that I showed you like 1 minute ago. So to begin, for the picture, I added an artistic effect, which you will be able to see in my document. Now it's a little bit small. I also changed the shape that is under my survey's questions. And then at the bottom of it, I added a text box for my little thank you note, to which I added a shape effect, and in it, for my text, I added some word art styles, which makes it a little bit more pretty. To conclude, the main things that I learned this semester are first how to work with a master and subdocument and how to format it so that the user can easily locate the information they want throughout the document. I also learned the existence of the developer tab and how to use it, as well as how to create an online form. Then the main challenges that I encountered were mainly with the master and subdocument and the link between both, but still, as I said before, I was able to sort it out, and I think that I would be good to work with that now. without too much problem. And then what I believe was most valuable to learn, I would say that it is probably the memo and the online form. I believe that the memo is the one that is the most used in every company, but also the online form, it is certainly used by a lot of companies. So both of these I would believe that I will probably have to do later on in my life. So thank you.